Hello friends, welcome to bisptrainings.com. My name is Amit and we are continue to analyzing our HR data using Tableau desktop client. In today's example, I am going to show you how to build HR, how to create a report which identify the direct and indirect expenses for employee across different organization. So in today's example, we are going to build a model which talk about different kind of expenses. Although our entire HR model is pretty huge, so in order to ease your understanding, I have taken one subset of the HR model which only focuses on your expense type. So you see the snapshot over here. We have got expense type and expense by group, expense by unit, expense by employee, details and plan, and organization as well. And eventually I'm going to draw this plot this chart which talk about employee direct and indirect expenses across different organization or department. And here I used a cluster chart, your bar cluster stack chart, bar stack chart, which talk about direct and indirect expenses along with the line. So let's get started. So the first step, we'll connect our data source and bring our HR data. Because in this example I'm building my report directly on top of transactional system, my query processing would be a little slow. The step first, we'll build our data model and you know bring the required data. So my data source is Oracle. I go to Tableau, click Oracle, define data source, define server name. My Oracle is stored in my local system, and define username and password. So my username is HR data and password, or my schema name is HR data, where I have got all the tables, required tables. You can search. I've got multiple schemas. I'm going to search the schema based on HR data, and if you know the exact dimension name or table name, you can type over here, or alternatively you can search all of them. We start building our model with expense unit, expense type. So I select the expense type first, and then intern join expense unit, expense by group, employee expense, detail and plan expenses. And you see the default join would be on expense unit code. This is going to be primary key over here in expense time, and this is foreign key in your expense unit. So default join is equal join, although you can change it to left auto join, right auto join, and define and or greater than symbol as well. Let's continue talking about expense unit, then employee unit expenses and detail expenses, employee expense detail and employee expense plan. So plan is like a forecasted expenses, and I also like to use employee expense group. In addition to this, we select organization, which in turn join with my expense plan and using organization code. So there's a primary key over here, there's a foreign key. Your data model is ready. You can continue to use a live connection, or you can define an extract. When you click an extract, you further have an option to define what piece of data you like to extract. You can extract all rows, sample row 10% of your total data. When you're doing sampling, you can extract top 10 rows as well. I'm going to extract top 100,000 rows because my data is very high. Click on OK. Data extraction will take place. Extract done so fast, and you can see you extract data over here under my document. However, if you want to continue to be connected to live connection, you can do the same way. Data source. Today at 10. Seems extraction is not done. When I click on save, then extraction take place. So now extract will conform. I call top 100 rows, 100,000 rows of HR data. right? Extension is TDE, Tableau Data Extract. Extraction will take few more seconds. Let it go on. Once extraction is done, we'll start building a report on top of that. You see import already started, import done, and you can see over here data got extracted. Top 100,000 rows, the size is 30 KB. Although I have got other extract as well. When I last time extracted it, it was close to 39 MB. Now once extract is done, we start visualizing this report. Let's proceed and start building our report. So as per our requirement, we like to see our expenses, expense group. In our model, we have got aliases for multiple languages. I use English language, drag and drop on my column. I've got different kind of expenses, benefit, pay, and training, and across different organization. So I drag and drop organization, right? Organization got multiple, so I'm going to filter it out for some. I need to define organization for sales, finance, corporate service, human resource, marketing, operation, procurement. And will confine our focus to these accounts only, these organizations only. Apply, right? Although you can give an option to the user to select apply filter on the fly, show quick filter, allow your users to apply filter on the fly. Okay, right? So because our requirement is I like to identify direct and indirect expenses. Direct expenses called pay and indirect expenses called benefit, bonus, compensation, benefit, bonus, and other kind of benefits, healthcare. Okay. So I click both of them, right click and apply grouping. So you click that and click specify group. I group them together, so you see the total value you find over here would be sum of benefit and training, and total would be employee expenses. This is a total expense which include your benefit and training, and I right click and label it, change the label or alias as indirect expenses, and the pay I would label is as, I'll change the alias as direct expenses. So I've got direct expense, I got indirect expenses, right? I like to display this using a stack chart, stack bar chart. So I got a stack bar chart which talk about different organization and my direct expenses and indirect expense. Okay. In addition to this, you can also display label of total labels of direct expense, drag and drop, and this label is of currency type, so you can change the format as well. Click on this, or you can simply define label and define format. Because this is a currency type, I like to display them as currency. Number, display them as standard currency. Or you can define a custom currency, define your symbol. I like to use dollar and thousand separator. This makes sense. In addition to this, you can all change font, color, format, size. You can play around with this as well. I also like to draw a line over here which talk about expenses. So a kind of, we are creating a bar chart and a line chart, combination of them. Okay. So on top of employee expenses, if you like to draw one more major, employee unit quantity, drag and drop and place in your another axis, and this axis I like to draw as a line. So default view would be automatically turns out to be mark. Okay, so first one, employee total expense, continue to be bar chart. However, employee unit cost, I want them to display as line chart. Okay, so you see the line talking about another axis. I got direct expenses, total direct expenses unit, indirect expenses total, indirect expenses unit. Okay, so that's it. This is how you can draw and create direct and indirect expenses for your HR department. We did this analysis only for given period. You can further define and this for multiple period and do a pattern analysis on top of this. So in next example, I'm going to show you how to do pattern analysis on top of your direct and indirect expenses for the employee. So that's it for today. Should you have any question, please feel free to write to us, or you can visit our site www.bisptrainings.com. Thank you and have a great day ahead.